next few days, I'm going to be taking you around to tour the bakeries around Copenhagen and show you 7 of my favorite bakeries or places where you can get Danish pastries, to show you around, show you what's in them, show you what to expect, and also what you can try. Let's head off now. First of all, we're in Brygge. This is where I first started off when I first came to Copenhagen, and we're going to head off to a bakery called Andersen Bakery, which is one of my favorites. By the way, I'm also doing a further video which will be linked at the back of this, which is an ultimate guide to Danish pastries, which you can take a look at, and I'll go through the majority of these Danish pastries, the history, some of the information about it, and which ones I prefer. So the bakery we're going to now, Andersen Bakery, has quite an interesting history. It's founded by a Japanese gentleman who had a bakery in Japan. I think it was Hiroshima. This is an interesting place, some really nice pastries, and I'd recommend that you come here. It's in Brygge, so it's only a metro ride away and 5 minutes from the metro station. I'll leave the location and address details for all these bakeries down in the description so that you guys can take a look and find the place easily. Here it is. So unfortunately, Andersen's was a little busy, no place to sit, and there was a huge queue there, which is something you do find at Andersen's. It's really popular. So I'm going to head back home on my bike, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to try and come back and take a look. Good morning, guys. It's 8 a.m. and I'm in Copenhagen. As you can see, the Nordic winters are still quite dark. And I'm here again at Andersen Bakery to try and get in to show you around. Let's go in, let's get something to eat, let's get some coffee. I actually have some good information for you, which I've managed to research in the past evening on the Andersen Bakery and how it started, which is a little different than what I've heard. But let's get in there, let's try it out.
It is hidden?
It's just hidden, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is it okay if I take a video?
Yes,
yeah?
of course.
Cool. Thank you very much.
We also have, okay, we don't have the what do you call it, designs for the sandwiches. We can also take the sandwiches, and we have some decoration up here if you want to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
So your total is going to be 63. Thank you.
That's good. No, that's fine. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. These are all the Danish pastries you get here, and in my other video I'm going to come and taste almost all of them. Right, so I've got my coffee, I've got my Danish pastry, and I'm ready now to tell you what I've learned and the story. So I had told you before yesterday when I couldn't get in about the basic history of the Andersen Bakery, but since then I found out some more stuff. I did a little bit of research and I found out some more stuff, the actual history on their website. So 1948, Mr. and I'm going to take a look at this to see because I want to pronounce it right, and I might pronounce it wrong too. Mr. Shunsaki Takaki in 1948 opened his first bakery in Hiroshima, just himself, his wife, and 2 employees. After that, they grew quite rapidly, and now they're actually quite a large conglomerate from what I can see, a group. But in 1948, he opened that first bakery. 1959, he took a trip to Copenhagen, and that's where he was enamored by the Danish pastries and took that concept back to Japan. Taking that back to Japan, then in the 1960s, he opened an Andersen Bakery, the first Andersen Bakery in Hiroshima. So he went in 1959 to Copenhagen, opened in 1961, I believe, first Andersen Bakery in Hiroshima. And for Copenhagen, in 2008, the Takaki group opened a bakery in Østerbro in Copenhagen. Then, subsequently after that, in 2017, he opened the bakery here in Brygge, which is where we are enjoying our tebergi and coffee. So that's a brief history, and I hope that gives you a little bit of background here. I'm going to eat this tebergi, have my coffee, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 2 more for Kat so that she has something vegan at home, because it's quite early today. As you can see, as I mentioned, Nordic winters are quite dark and cold, but I wanted to make it here to show you guys inside. I'll go upstairs as well later on, show you what's there. But basically, do come here if you get a chance. The metro is only 5 stops away, and if it is crowded here, which it does get, so that's a little bit of hint, it does get crowded in here unless it's really early in the morning. Just 50 meters, 100 meters away is the Waterfront. You can take a coffee, bakery, take out baked goods, a Danish pastry, head to the Waterfront, sit down there and eat it looking out over the waterfront, and I'll take you there as well. Okay, so I'm gonna have my coffee now. This is the upstairs seating area of the cafe, and there is also a downstairs seating area as you come in. A little bit of a seating area there, and then you order. Most people take takeaway here. So we've got the table keys for Kat to take back, and I got a festival for me. But I want to show you before we go. I want to show you if you're getting takeaway here. If it is busy, if you're getting takeaway, you just walk down the road a little bit down there. It's like 20 meters, 50 meters, and you get to. Today's not such a nice day, but you can get a nice day, and as long as it's not raining, there's still places to sit and it's not too cold. Oh, and by the way, Andersen's Bakery does have seats outside, so if you're okay outside, you can also go sit outside, but just there, just across the street. I don't know whether you can see it on the camera here, but just across the street you get the channel and places to sit, and you can sit on the side of the bank there as well and enjoy your pastry and coffee while you watch the city. Since I was here anyway, I thought I'd bring you down. It's just like 50 meters from the Andersen Bakery. Bring you down and show you where you can sit and eat your pastries if you wish, instead of sitting inside the Andersen Bakery like I was doing. It's a nice cafe, but it is a bit small. It does get a bit busy, and if it's nice weather, if it's not too cold, like today it's not too cold even in winter, and it's not raining, you can come here, you can sit down, you can have your coffee, you can bring your pastry takeaway. They give you takeaway pastries either in a box or in a bag, and you can have a view of Copenhagen and have your pastries. So it's quite nice as well, and coffee as well. Their coffee is really good, so I would highly recommend coming here. This is my favorite place. This is my number one place in Copenhagen to come for Danish pastries. We're just coming up now to the second bakery on my list, and that's number 2, and that's Sankt Peders Bageri or Sankt Peders Conditori, and that's the oldest bakery, or longest running bakery in Copenhagen, and it also makes some really nice pastries. So we're coming there up now.
You're allowed to like walk around, but it's like a noise thing.
Hi.
And just black coffee?
Yes, please, if I could. Thank you very much. So I'm inside Sankt Peders Bakery now, and as I mentioned, this is Copenhagen's oldest bakery. It's known, very well known for its Wednesday snails, or I think if I'm pronouncing it right, it's the onsdag snail. And that's something that came into the traditions of Copenhagen and Denmark a little while back. And if you want to know more about that, wait till the end of the video, and then you'll get a link to my full Ultimate Guide to Danish Pastries video, which gives you histories and everything about Danish pastries. You can learn a lot about all the Danish pastries. So if you want to know about that, wait till the end of the video and go and watch that video. But this is Sankt Peders Bakery. This is my second favorite, as I mentioned, and I'm here because I want to have these, these ones, which are the Festelavsboller. Excuse me my pronunciation, it's really bad, but basically they're the balls which are traditional, or were traditionally eaten for Lent, and now they're produced all year round, but they're really nice fluffy balls with some cream filling inside, and I've come for that, and that's one of the ones I'll also review. But if you're coming, and out of the 7 bakeries I have, this is the second on my list, and I like to come here because it's kind of chilled. It does get kind of busy, but it's not too big. If you can see behind me, it's not too big, but it's got a really good selection of pastries, and they're really top quality pastries. So I'd recommend coming here if you get a chance. If you're in the city center, this is easy to get to. It's right by Nørrebro, about 5-7 minutes walk. So come here. Really good. Yeah. Don't know whether you can see the stuffing, but look at that. Look at the selection. Bye-bye, Sankt Peders Bakery. This morning we're going to head off to Christianshavn. We're just taking a walk there, and we're going to the Lagkagehuset there, which is the very first Lagkagehuset, which was opened in 1991 by Ola and Jana. I think it's Ola Christoffersen and Jana Bollerup. And they opened this in 1991, and when we get there, I'll show you the building and I'll explain why they opened it. But we're heading off to Lagkagehuset. This is my number 3. and it's on my list at number 3 because it's proliferated across Copenhagen. They do some good quality bakery products, and it's at a reasonable price. Instead of going straight in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to the other side of the road where the Christianshavn metro is, and I'm going to show you the building from the other side so I can explain, excuse me, so I can explain a little bit about the history. This is the actual building. So this is the area where Lagkagehuset is. It's Christianshavn, and this building over here, this yellow one, is the very first Lagkagehuset, taken out in 1991, if I remember correctly. And the reason that it's taken, or the reason that Jana and Ola took it, was because it reminded them of a Danish layer cake. If you look at it, it's got like the different layers and the different floors and the colors. It's built in 1930s, and they really liked this for their concept of the bakery, and that's why it ended up here. So let's go inside now, and I'll show you inside. So we're looking for something vegan for Kat because she's allergic to dairy, so I think we're going to get one of these ones, that's vegan. Generally these places all have at least one thing that's vegan. You get numbers which you need to take and wait for the number to be called, and then you can order. At Lagkagehuset, that's generally the process. Hi! Yeah, could I get one of these raspberry, and one of these, please? To eat here? One Americano, and you wanted a cortado? And a cortado with oat milk, please. Thank you. Okay, got the stuff. Coffee's good. Salted caramel with mocha, and it looks good. This was the raspberry, which Kat's raspberry ballad, which is a vegan one, which Kat's already devoured half of, which you can see there. And it's very good, she says. Yes, it's very good. I haven't tried this yet, but I will. You may also know Lagkagehuset in the UK as Ola & Steen, and they opened in, I think it was, I need to actually check, I think it was in sometime in the 2000s they opened in London, their first overseas branch, and they called it Ola & Steen. And here in Copenhagen it's known as Lagkagehuset. You get them all over the place, literally all over the place, so it's a good option if you're coming as a tourist to know where you can get good quality and at a good price, and where you can just drop in for coffee and a pastry. That's good. That's really good. You want to take one home?
No, I'm good.
Let's try this salted caramel mocha. Actually, a good point that we were just talking about is that some of these places in Copenhagen tagged as artisanal bakeries, the quality and the consistency is actually not as good as what you find here in Lagkagehuset. Consistently here in Lagkagehuset across all the branches, I've yet to be one where the quality of the baked goods and the sandwiches was not excellent. So if you want to have consistency and know you're going to get something good, come to Lagkagehuset. One thing to actually notice here we noticed that there's no bathroom here. The customer asked, and they said there isn't one actually on the premises. So just keep that in mind. So today we're visiting my number 4 spot, which is Andersen and Maillard, which is just across the way. If you can see that yellow wall there, that's the Assistance Cemetery, and we're here at this bakery called Andersen's and Maillard, which is, as I said, number 4 on my spot. And let me find the entrance here. Where was it again? Sorry, I'm concentrating on the camera, so I forget where it is. This is actually a recently opened bakery, but it's got some really nice bakery goods. Let's go inside. Looks like it's pretty busy inside. I'm gonna get a pistachio cube. Let's break into it and see what we've got here. It's really difficult to break into. I think I need a knife. Okay, let's try again. That's better. Looks like it's got some type of cream in there. So as you can see behind me, it gets pretty crowded in here. This is around 1:30ish in the afternoon on a weekday. There's lots of students. I think there's a lot of tourists as well because, as I mentioned, the Assistance Cemetery is just on the other side here. The metro station is just up about, I don't know, 50 meters away. And the other thing is Nørrebro is quite a lively place and it's a trendy place to be. So this place opened, I believe, in 2017 with another branch in Nordhavn, which opened in 2008. This is more of a coffee, roastery, cafe type of place, which has some of the baked goods. But if you really want artisanal baked goods from Andersen and Maillard, you should go to the one in Nordhavn, which is specializing in bakery items. But this pistachio cube, which I got, has some nice pistachio cream in the middle, is quite flaky. And they go quickly. So I think if you want the good stuff and if you want some really fresh baked stuff, you should come in the morning. Try some of their stuff. The coffee is really good, by the way. And the pistachio cube is one which I'd recommend. Number 5 on my list, and I hope you can hear me with the cars behind. Number 5 on my list is a place called Diane's Conditori, which is a little small bakery near Lagkagehuset Park and Metro. And here's a selection of the stuff you can find there. They've got a really good selection and they're reasonably priced. They're not an artisanal bakery, but they do really good stuff and a really good selection. So let's go inside. I'm going to have something and then we're going to have a chat inside. They got some really nice baked goods here. The bakery is nice and cute and cozy as well. So I got myself one of these, which is a strawberry cream type of cake pastry type of thing. And it looks really good. So I'm going to try that with my coffee. Black as usual. This is a cute, cozy little bakery. It's nice to come to. Metro station is not too far. It's Lagkagehuset Park and the station, which is about 4 or 5 stops from the airport. Another 2 or 3 stops from the center. It's just across the park as you come out, so literally 50 meters. So well worth coming here, trying it. As I said, it's number 5 on my list. Do come, support them. It's a really nice place. Got lots of selection and really good baked stuff. Let's start. It's messy, but it's good. And the strawberries taste really fresh. Number 6 on my list is a bakery, which is, you can't actually sit inside, but you can take baked goods out. And the reason it's on my list is because it's a vegan, vegetarian or vegan bakery. And it's got a good selection of vegan pastries, which are actually really good. So you can come here, you can order, take it out, go and sit in the park in Torvehallen, just around the corner. Go and sit at Torvehallen on one of the benches and have a coffee from Torvehallen and one of these vegan pastries. Right here, you can see the little pastry sign. And here you get all the vegan pastries. Let's go in and get one. Hi, can I get please a knelsnel and a theeberky, please? Yeah. Thank you. So if you want to see what I got this knelsnel over there and a theeberky, the one next to it, and they're all vegan and they actually taste pretty good. They've done a very good job with these. They've got brownies, they've got they've got a good selection, and they have other stuff as well inside. Really nice day in Copenhagen. I've got these now. I'm going to take them back to Kat, but let's head off. And then we're going to go and try and see, maybe I can get a couple more of these pastry shops in. For number 7, what I've selected is a bakery that's in the supermarkets, or a supermarket bakery basically. There's a group of supermarkets here. Excuse the crow. There's a group of supermarkets here called Co-op, which includes supermarkets such as Quickly, Co-op, 365, Superbrugsen, I'm trying to remember, Irma, and I think there's 1 or 2 others, but basically, in these, there's bakeries which are inside the supermarket. You don't have to go all the way inside. They're generally, as you come in, and there's a bakery section where they do fresh baked pastries. And here, you can get a lot of the Danish style pastries for cheaper than you would get them at an artisanal bakery. And they are good quality. So Co-op, I know they have good quality baked goods there. And what I would recommend is if you want to try a variety, and if you're at an Airbnb or even a hotel room, find a Co-op which has one of these bakeries, go there, pick up some baked goods and try the pastries. And you can check out my other video to see my guide to Danish pastries. And I'll have a bunch of these which I try out, give you a brief update and not update. I'll give you a brief description of what they taste like, and you can then try them out for yourself. Here we are. We're going to the bakery in quickly. As you can see, they got a lot of fresh baked bread here, and these go really quick. So, and over here, let me take you to show you the pastries. They got savory stuff as well here. And over here you've got all the different types of Danish pastries. What they don't have is actually vegan stuff, so you need to go looking for that somewhere else. I decided to get one of those. So that was a little uncomfortable. I got approached whilst in the supermarket taking videos, saying that, asking why I was taking videos, and that I really shouldn't be taking videos without asking, which is, I don't know, maybe it's usual, but it was a little uncomfortable. They seemed to be a little bit not very happy about it, but they were okay when I said, okay, I'm just taking some videos for the Danish pastries to explain the stuff. They were okay with it, but in the beginning they didn't seem very happy. So a little bit uncomfortable, but I got number 7. Just a small side note, that's actually the first place which I've been to where they've been a little bit uncomfortable and didn't seem very pleased with the fact that I was taking videos of the pastries and stuff. So guys, end of the 7 bakeries in Copenhagen, which I recommend, which I frequent, and there are loads and loads, there are loads and loads of bakeries in Copenhagen. These 7 are the ones which I've selected, the ones that I frequent a lot, and I've tried to give you a variety between artisanal, small family, and also places where you can get stuff for relatively cheap without breaking the bank if you want to try a variety. Now I'm making another video, by the way, of Ultimate Guide to Danish Pastries, where I'll try out a bunch of Danish pastries and give you a lowdown on the history and the flavor, etc., and what they are. So that might give you a little bit of a helping hand in choosing which ones you want. Now, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. That helps YouTube to circulate it amongst more people. Then more people will see my videos, and that really, really helps me. Also helps me if I know that you liked the video and that you enjoyed watching my content, because then I know what type of stuff to make as well. So please do give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll be doing more videos on Copenhagen, but I'm also planning a trip to Sri Lanka. So I'm going to do one on my prep, asking for your help on places to go if you're from Sri Lanka, and also looking at the forward plan for my rest of the year. Thanks again, guys, for joining me, and I hope you join me again soon. Ooh, it's windy.